right, friends, here we are again. We're really excited for this next episode of the Produce Champion podcast. We have Darren Davis with us today. He is the executive chef and managing member at Wildfire Restaurant Bar here in Yakima, Washington. He's grown up around the apple community, grown up around produce, and he head into food. And as a chef, you've been a chef for how long now, Darren?
Well, I started cooking when I was 8 years old, but professionally for about 24 years.
Yeah, that time flies.
Oh, it sure does.
Yeah, I remember when you guys moved back to Yakima. It wasn't, maybe 18 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that?
2008.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. And so you studied culinary, or did you learn hard knocks, or how did you do it?
A little bit of both. I grew up through the system, working my way up in the kitchens. I also went to Johnson & Wales University, 4-year culinary university over in Providence, Rhode Island.
Wow.
So I learned a tremendous amount.
Yeah. And somehow you grew up in Yakima and you made your way back here. What was that like?
Well, after school, I kind of bounced around the U.S., East Coast, West Coast, down south. Yeah. And I always had a passion to come home. I love the Valley, and I knew that it's a special place. And to be able to build a restaurant, do something for our community, work with the produce of the Valley, just an amazing feeling. Be able to offer something special for the residents here.
Well, folks, I've always liked making the connection. We talk about supply chain. We talk about from farm to table or whatever you want to call it. But basically that process of how food gets from the field all the way to your mouth. And a huge component of that, especially post-COVID, is a lot of us eat out. A lot of us eat at a lot of different restaurants. And so, Darren, what's it like choosing produce for the food items that you prepare?
Sure. Well, in our restaurant, obviously we want to be competitive. We want to have a very diverse menu.
Yeah.
While keeping it fresh, exciting, interesting. But we also obviously are conscientious of the cost as well.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at purchasing products, is it fresh? Is it exciting? Is it going to help us meet that bottom line?
Yeah. Recently, what is something that's exciting in the produce side of things?
Ooh, so much. Obviously we have our organic produce farms coming up. We have a tremendous amount of farms here in the Valley. We have a lot of people getting into microgreens. We have a lot of people getting into mushrooms and fungus and, things of that sort. Some of the different vegetables, some of the specialty vegetables that individuals or farmers are producing are wonderful. So it's just really keeping it diverse and interesting and exciting.
Yeah. So some of the kind of more specialty things that come to my mind that I kind of see on the horizon, and you tell me, maybe you tell me interesting, not interesting, or golden berries. Are you seeing that? Is there a future interest in there?
I don't really have a lot of experience with golden berries.
Yeah. We'll have to see if that plays out.
Sure.
What about endives, like Belgian endives and stuff?
We have used that in the past. I think that's an acquired taste. It is a little bit of a bitter, but not something that we very rarely use.
Gotcha. Avocados, that's all pretty much a staple almost anymore.
It is a staple.
Mangoes?
Mangoes, we use a lot of mango. Our concept in the restaurant is a sort of a Pacific Rim concept. So any region that touches the Pacific Ocean, we like to touch on. So mangoes obviously are
definitely within there.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's great. So what is the biggest challenge to you when you're looking for fresh, when you're looking for exciting? What is the biggest challenge to you? Is it cost? Is it distribution? What do you find is the biggest barrier, shall we say?
Well, being here in the Valley, whenever we do look for something that's a little bit unique, it seems like it takes a long time to get here. We have to call our purveyor And then, they have to reach out to a larger market. It usually comes through the LA market. And then, it might be a week out. It might be a week and a half out. There are some things where we can get next day or, maybe 2 or 3 days out if we use a different source. But typically it's about a week for a specialty item.
We see like on the shows on TV, the chefs that are going out to the farmer's market and they're doing all that. Do you get to do any of that in this area?
We do. Yeah, we have a local farmer's market here. I think it's on Sunday in the summertime and maybe May through September. And, they offer a handful of unique items, some staple items. But what I've found, and even the asparagus that's coming up, people love Yakima Valley asparagus.
Yeah.
And, we like to support local as much as we can. But I found that, we work with a purveyor, a produce company, and I can actually sometimes get it cheaper going through the produce company than I can locally.
Yeah.
It's cut, it's clean, it comes to me in a nice box. I don't have to spend my time, which is valuable, to go out and get it, but it comes straight to me.
So you got the challenge of, you want local, but the price tag that comes with the product, not just the product, but the labor then,
Sure.
is you got to weigh those into balance constantly then. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. And we talk produce here, but in a restaurant, produce isn't usually the star. It's usually the complement. So how do you do that? How do you choose what goes with what? And
It's just all over the place. Really, with seafood, you compare anything with anything, really.
Yeah.
The beef that we run, asparagus goes very well with that right now. Grilled asparagus goes very well with beef and wine with the Charlie asparagus.
complement a good steak with a little bit of local asparagus and some local wines, maybe even.
Wine.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. And as far as prep work is concerned and all of that, is there certain things that you look for, or that perhaps you say you avoid in produce items that get in the way, that slow you down, or cause you difficulties, or how do you?
The only real challenges I see, this is all with the produce companies is, you'll order a product and then you don't really know all the time if it's going to come in 100%. Is the yield going to be there? Is the freshness going to be there? There's just a lot of questions right now. I wish I had more faith in, that I would receive exactly what I ordered and that it would be fresh.
So what happens if it shows up and it's not fresh or it's not at 100%? Do you send it back?
Well,
what do you
typically, now, with the way things have gone, companies won't take the items back. They'll just credit those items.
Oh.
And so we then have a decision to make. Well, do we just discard it, or do we try to, if it's, too bad, then we'll just discard it.
Oh, gotcha. So it's not looking too hot and you say, well, I was going to make a fresh salad out of this. I can't do that. You run through a couple scenarios and you may have to, either somebody takes it home or it goes bye-bye in the trash.
Usually we donate it to the staff.
Yeah. That whole culture around not about rescuing food and saving food, that seems to be really big, especially with our kids' age. So that's an interesting subject matter to touch. And then we talked about the avocados and the guacamole, and you use a couple of different items. Are there things that you can do to help shelf life last longer? Is there anything that you're free to share that's not trade secrets?
Sure. Yeah. Well, with any item, well, not any item, but a lot of items, you can freeze dry, you can dry, you can freeze, cure. But now we've gotten into an item called avo fresco, where we use on our guacamole and our avocados, and it has greatly helped the shelf life on that. It prevents the oxidation, obviously. But we also found that it helps when we're washing our lettuces, some of our berries, and stuff like that. It's helped extend that shelf life quite a bit, so we're not realizing the berries softening or turning color so fast.
So it just basically kind of slows down the any produce item that's cut is decaying,
Sure.
basically. So you're just slowing that process down, kind of putting it. And when I was growing up, if we were making guacamole, we would just squeeze a little bit of lime. And the story was, if you left the pit in there, that would somehow help slow down so it doesn't turn brown so fast. And do you find that to be true? And is this? I think they used to call it al fresco. Now it's nature fresco because al fresco is owned by somebody else. But this nature fresco stuff, do you find that helps with that?
It does quite a bit. Yeah, I've used the avocado pit, the guacamole, the lime juice, salts, and it will help for a little bit. But the nature fresco it helps extend at least by maybe 2 or 3 days. And we make the avocado. We make avocado mousse. We make a soup, a puree. So a few different items out of the avocados.
Well, it sounds like we all need to go check out the avocado soup and the mousse and the puree. So, folks, if you're local, if you're here in Yakima, make sure you stop in. Go to Wildfire. Reservations in advance are appreciated.
Recommended, not required.
Yeah.
We can get quite busy at times.
If you don't want to get stuck sitting and waiting, it's always a good idea. I think we've all learned that since COVID, right? We pretty much make reservations everywhere. But good food, good people, great service, and a good time. So check it out and let us know what you think. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for joining us. And do us a favor, click subscribe on the button below here. Make sure you hit that bell so that you can get notifications every time we post a new podcast or a new content. And we look forward to talking to you and hearing from you. You have a great day.